How do you
I
get
like this.
ready for a Karate Kid review? Get your
Hold on.
So listen, let me see if I can cover my eye that's messed up.
I
In my
can
case, we cover the eye that's messed up. Just kidding. I'm just gonna let the hair do that. I don't want to
take
infect my
this.
eye even more than what it is. Um, that was a cute intro. Thank you so much from Klep. Well, KLEPSCKX, whatever. I was like, I don't want to mess your name up.
I
Uh,
wasn't even gonna put this back on, but I have to now, just because
right as you get ready for your review.
I like the karate chop popcorn bucket.
That's what. Listen, you know me, Tori. I'm just probably going to order that bucket, but we'll get into the buckets in a second. We are here to review Karate Kid, but couple of things. Quick intro. First of all, hello to everybody. I
Oh
don't.
wow!
At least one person's here. It's almost.
Wait,
Wait, someone said something. Hold on.
it's the person from
Oh,
yesterday.
hey, how you doing, no talent? Welcome. We wasn't expecting anybody. It is three. Well, actually, I'm sure your time is the same as mine. It is 3:46 in the morning. Yeah, for me. So I was just like, we're just going to do our review. I know you saw it as well, so I would love to hear your feedback. Um, and if listen, if you're extra brave, you're welcome to come on the live with us. We'll send you the link if you want to join us. Um, Again, our special guest is Tori from Invincible Jacksons, uh, who brought me down the Karate Kid / Cobra Kai rabbit hole. And we were going to have you guys vote. What are we going to do in July? But Tori said, yeah, we're just going to do Cobra Kai. So we're not going to have no votes. We're going to do Cobra Kai after Ironheart, and that's it. Because I really want to see how this rabbit hole ends. I have insomnia. Well, little backstory. You guys know my eyes messed up. That's why I had the compression on yesterday. So what woke me up, the pus kind of got out of control. And it was like one something in the morning. And Tori and I are supposed to do live, like maybe what, 10 o'clock my time. And she said,
Yeah,
Trisha, are you asleep? And I'm like, yeah.
I caught her twice.
But then because my eye was having all this pus come out, which is a good thing because that's the problem. I was like, I can't go to sleep till all this is out. We might as well just do the live. And then we just started working on the live, and yeah, here we are. Insomnia has its perks. So, fun find, just in case you did not get the free poster in your movie theater, they have one with similar dimensions of
Oh,
was it 11? Oh, I don't see I think it's 11 by 17. Don't quote me. I will buy the poster to confirm it to make sure that it fits with the one that's free. But I don't know if it's official, but just in case you want it anyway, go to my storefront from Amazon. The Karate Kid has its own links just in case you don't want to go through my whole storefront. Um, if you ever develop a sty, though, you see that mask there, get it. It is life changing. So yeah, I'm like, thank God between that and the droplets that I got, which I'll review on Amazon / one of my channels. It helped a lot because it was just wow. It was a sty that I touched and got infected, and the rest has been a wow, not a good thing. Yesterday we showed the merch that was given at Regal. So if you went for the first day or the fan event for AMC, you got the bracelet. For Regal, if you were just in the movie theater, you got the poster. If you guys still want the poster, unless someone swiped them all out, there was minimum 200. Just go to AMC 42nd Street in Times Square in New York City, and you can get the poster still.
wait, they have it at AMC too?
No, I asked because I'm not
Oh,
going to
it's at
tell
Regal.
you where I went today because we have a story coming in a second. But I'm very familiar with most of the AMCs in New York. And when I went to that AMC, they did not have any posters or bracelets. I checked. So that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist in my secret location. Um, the popcorn buckets have been a thing, not a good thing in terms of they're being hard to find. So if you get frustrated, and the actual websites like Cinemark and them sold out or whatever, just go to eBay. I know I'm probably going to get the one that was an intro. I want that one. That's the one I want. So I'm going to probably order that one. And of course, because I'm a bratty kid, I went to AMC this morning to pick up uh the combo was expensive though. This combo was about $65 with tax,
Mm-hmm.
but I got the popcorn bucket and the whatchamacallit cup. Let me see something. Uh yeah, here we go. So we got them, y'all. We got them. Did you open yours yet? I didn't.
I did because I wanted to try it. It was
I
in
didn't
my.
know if mine was going to you or going on my display. I still might
Put it
sell
on that
mine.
display.
I still might sell it because I really want the white one.
Have both.
You got to think about storage. Remember, I have a lot of popcorn buckets, like a lot.
You should do a popcorn bucket collection
Oh,
video.
for sure. Well, no, there's a lot coming with popcorn. Wait till you see this madness. Because, like, that's my favorite snack.
Oh wait, we gotta show. Well, I can show them what it does. So this is what it looks like. Da 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 da. Has 5 boroughs, 2025, and then this part is wood at the top, wood, and you just like the dude did in the intro, and then it closes right back up. That's how you
It's cool that there's two different versions of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
The one Jackie Chan featured was yours.
Yes.
So I have time to think about it. For now, I'll just keep it in the plastic. If I can find a place to put it, sure.
This is how I'm kind of storing mine right now. And then the
Okay.
extra things like this. Ooh, it's my thing's kind of crooked. Oh well, like this, I fold it up and I put it in the cup because I don't plan to drink out of it.
Oh,
I just like it for
I
this.
do drink out of it, but again, I will definitely have future videos about my popcorn, everything. How I'm displaying everything, what frames I purchased, because I don't really get high end stuff because this apartment has unique problems. So I don't want to put a lot of money in here, but I still want it to look nice. And most of my home decoration is stuff from like Five Below or stuff that is free. But the downfall, like to store it, isn't free, but it's still like really, really, it's a really fun space because it's like based on things I got to experience. So it does hold a lot of water. Like when I went to AMC this morning, I just filled it up with water. Mine kept leaking. I don't know if I was just being like clumsy. Hold on. I hope this cup is not a problem because I will be back and be like, can I get a different cup?
You gotta twist it. I don't know if it. Yeah, there's a. Oh, hold on. Maybe not.
No.
Maybe
No.
not. Oh, the lid just clasps on.
Yeah. But it was
What?
like, when I was walking around with it, it was leaking.
Maybe that's because it's a clasp on. Oh wait,
Right?
no.
The intro was so fun. I'm like, so I love clever like short videos. This cup is very comparable to those who got the Wolverine one to this one. So I'll show you. These ran for about $25, right?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere around there.
So if you got like the Wolverine Deadpool, this is the second time I've seen the cups like this from AMC. So I cannot wait to do my popcorn display area. Then, but normal typical cups will look like this. They're very flimsy. These really usually retail for about $13, $14 in New York. So yeah.
I'm
Oh, that's
trying to
so
pull
cool.
something up.
So most of your
Where is?
luxuries in my apartment is musical instruments and their accessories, which makes I always tell people don't be so quick to fill up your space. Let your space form organically. So you're passionate about music, so your home probably reflects that. I'm I don't know if I'm passionate about anything, but I just like a lot of like pop culture things. But somehow this has become an 80s throwback place as well, unintentionally, because I like Michael Jackson. And now we got Karate Kid. And then we got like Star Wars. So if you look at my home, you have a idea like, oh, this girl likes certain IPs. I have a lot of Marvel stuff, specifically Wolverine, Sonic the Hedgehog, but it all works though. And it's funny, like every time my friends come to my house, they always take a bunch of pictures. Like I'm like, this is not an exhibit. Like get out of here with this. But I consider it flattering that if I make people happy to see the insanity of my apartment, and it's basically a lot of cool gifts or free things from like fan events and stuff from movies. So um, I still want the popcorn bucket that looks like this. I don't think I'm going to get it because it's hard to find. It doesn't
Wait,
even.
the bucket that looks like this?
Yeah, I think it exists. I just
There's a
can't find
bucket
it.
that looks like
I
that? Hold
think
on.
so.
Wait, now I gotta find it. But I like the texture. Like it feels, it's like rubbery, but the texture
Yeah,
feels like clothes, like an actual gi.
yeah. When they had the Deadpool launch, we spent 50 something dollars just in the two cups. And then like I think the Deadpool stuff, I that's the most money I've ever spent in a movie theater in one shot. It was like hundreds of dollars because the merch was so expensive. But if when you make clever things like this, people might invest. The only downfall is storage. That's why I'm starting to slow down with the popcorn bucket thing. I'm like, I need space. But
Is it really a popcorn? Trish, are you sure?
let me
Can I
see.
look it up? There's
Karate.
another popcorn bucket that's just like your regular popcorn like bucket, but it has the Karate Kid like Legends graphics on it and stuff. Oh,
I
there's
I'm
two.
not gonna lie, they made it hard to get these buckets.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Oh, you
There's
found it?
a black one and a red one like that. I can't even see. The black one is almost kind of reminiscent of Daniel's.
Yeah, those are hard to find. I'm not sure if those are specialty theaters. If they have it at the Alamo, which is in the county to me, I'm willing to go down there.
Is this
One of my
real?
family members actually lives near the Alamo, so I'd be like, "Can you just pick it up, please?" Oh, Reddit got some stuff. Let me share my screen. Wow.
This feels fake. Why does this look cartoonish? And I can't find it nowhere.
Let me just share my screen. Uh, where is it? Share screen. So here's some of the Karate Kid stuff. Can I? Oh, here we go. Is it gonna let me go on Reddit without being signed in? Oh, cool. So this is some of the Karate Kid merch from. So they have the black one with the red belt, the white one. So I wanted one of those, but I found that those are plastic, so I'm not going to kill myself to get plastic. So now I'm probably just going to get the one in the intro and
Oh
just
my!
order that one.
Wait, I see it. It is real. Oh my gosh! I thought it was fake.
No, 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 it's real. It's just probably
Whoa!
this is other merch that we missed.
There's another one with the logo, with the tree logo.
Oh, look, the headband.
What? Okay, I will say that the versatility of these the merch for this movie is really good.
Yeah, but then it's not accessible. Make it make sense.
Oh wait, this is the other cup. There's another cup with him. Whoa.
Okay.
It's kind of like ours with him at the top. But
Oh, I love Back to the Future. I don't collect. All I have is like T-shirts, but I love the Back to the Future franchise. Love.
ooh, there's I don't know if you're like in traveling and whatnot, but there's a restaurant in Vegas called Back to the 80s. And
Oh,
it
we
kind of
should
has that Back to the Future
go.
theme. And I've been trying to go for like the past 2 years. And it has like it's just overall 80s, like throwback stuff, but it's I think it's mainly like Back to the Future theme. So
Heck yeah. Well, it's messed up because we were supposed to be in Vegas a few weeks ago, and I just couldn't make it with you. That would have been a great time to go.
it
I
would have been
told you I'm not traveling till I get my finances better. But you know, me and Tori, we do this uh traveling. We do these Hill Los Angeles charities. They run about $500 and up to be part of the events, plus hotel, plus flights. So I just need to get my money up so I can continue going down there. Oh, cool. You have all the DVDs, the TV show, the books, the deck of playing cards, and that's so cool. I don't know. I mean, I know I should have some Back to the Future stuff. There's even a direct correlation with Michael Jackson and Back to the Future, what, 2? We see Michael? I got to look at that one. But I know I'm going to have a watch party for Back to the Future. Don't know which channel, but when I was younger, I loved Back to the Future. And it has such a good rewatchability, especially the first one. So, show 'em else. What else you got for your Karate Kid collection? Because you got something I don't have.
Okay, so I was like, I went to Regal because I feel like I prefer the experience there.
I
And
agree.
there was like trying to find it, but I like the experience there better. Even though I knew it didn't really have anything, so I was expecting to see a movie poster, get some extra movie poster or whatever. And then I asked the lady, I was like, "Yo, like, did you get any of the Karate Kid Legend stuff?" And she was like, "Oh, let me ask." So she asked somebody, and he was like, no." And I was like, "What?" And he said, "Wait, we got the what do you call this? The headbands." I said, "Oh." So they gave me two of these because I want my dad. So one for me, one for
Oh,
him.
wait. So the headband came from Regal.
Yeah.
Oh, so we got the posters. You got the headband. That's awesome.
This is the new
That's
headband.
awesome.
I need to fold it back up though. I don't know how to do it.
At least we know moving forward if we see a movie that we both like, if there's freebies, just grab one for each other.
Yeah, because everything is different now. I saw this loose thread and I said, "What is this?" I said, "Hold up." That's what made me take it out the package because I was like, this thing better not be destroyed.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised they didn't sell the headbands. That would have been so smart. Put them in the Amazon store, the Amazon store period, but I don't know. Oh,
Cinemark is actually selling it. It's crazy.
okay, that makes sense though to sell it. It was like what? Back to the Future Part 2, Michael Jackson is seeing the cafe's 80s. Awesome.
I'm glad that they have him
Insert
in there.
this nostalgia. That's so cool. So I will send your stuff out as soon as possible, Tori. Um, I'm glad everything worked out for all of us. Talk about
Yeah.
your AMC experience because it was the complete opposite of mine.
Oh wait, before actually maybe it could wait. Maybe it could wait. Um. All right. So you know me, I'm extra. So I had to get my Daniel Russo fit on, and I attempted to do the crane kick, but my dad was trying to rush and take the picture, and I was trying to balance, and I think I was overthinking it, and I wasn't putting enough effort into it. But I did. I tried to do the crane kick, y'all. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me, y'all.
Oh,
But I made sure Karate Kid got in the background. It was cool. I took pictures of it coming up, and I was like, "That's so cool." This is my second Karate Kid franchise movie that I got to see in theaters. Wait, there it goes. Yeah.
that's so cool.
You know how to represent. Oops. Why did I do that? Miyagi Do. Miyagi Do. And then, of course, got in. Here's an honorable mention to AMC because Regal, for whatever reason, did not have the poster outside. So when I went to AMC, I surely did. Oh wait, there's even a little card in here if you want to keep it.
Oh, that's cool.
That is, you know what? I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put that towards front. But yeah, so I took a picture there of that. Um,
That's funny. Look at all the stuff he remembers. Remember the lesson about balance. Lesson not just karate only. Lesson for whole life. Whole life has a balance. Everything be better. Understand?
I'm glad you put that because I literally just looked at that quote for the homework assignment that I decided to do on my own. So I'm glad you put that. So yeah, then we get our popcorn and whatnot, which I need to show you the cup. I'll show you some point during the live. It's gonna trip you out. So we're in the movie. It's starting. I'm getting real excited. Da 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 da. And it's in the beginning, and they're speaking Mandarin, and so it has subtitles on the screen. So I don't understand Mandarin without the English subtitles. So next thing you know, the screen goes black. I'm like, is this part of the movie, bro? We sitting there like this. We sitting there like this. I said, ain't no way. So I said, they just flash and flash. Like I said, is anybody gonna go tell them people? So I finally went out there and I told this random worker, I said, I don't know if you know this, but like the screen just went black. Next thing you know, the manager lady who helped me and like actually asked around so I could get these. Really nice lady, by the way. Shout out to her. Um, she hauled up them stairs to get to the top where the projector was, and we sat there for a little while. Then they finally started playing it again, but it played from the part where it left off of on the sound when it was just playing the sound. And I was like, they better replay it. So then they stopped it again, and everybody's like, what? I said they better be replaying it from the jump, and they did, and they replayed.
Okay.
So I got my money's worth, and they were really nice because they said, "Oh, just want to let you know the theater is gonna be that way, the auditorium, and if there's any noise because they were working on the roof, we could get the movie ticket, but if there was any issue and like we didn't want to hear it, we could just leave, get a refund or whatever. They're very willing to give us one up front." So I was like, cool, cool. Um, yeah, I was struggling. I was like, most I got for you is a little bit of Spanish. That's it.
Mandarin, pretty cool language. Don't you think? English translation. That's also.
Oops.
It's funny. We both got stories. Um, it's funny. I was even ranting with my coworkers about the whole popcorn bucket thing because they were like, "That's so stupid." Um, but what I'm going to try to do this summer is to go to every AMC and Regal so I could figure out who has the better experience. No promises, but
Yeah.
for those who are not familiar, AMC will be $5 every Wednesday, so that'd be a good
Is it
opportunity.
Wednesday or Tuesday?
No, Wednesday. So
They changed
Tuesday,
it to Wednesdays?
no. So I think they still have the Tuesday promotion, and I
Mm-hmm.
think they're adding a bonus Wednesday for like $5. So that would be
Wait.
a good opportunity to go to every theater in the city. Cause I'm like, I know where I don't want to be after what happened the other day. I was like, well, I know where I don't want to go. Cause I'm like, it's like I could see if it was crowded. I thought it was empty, but y'all could have just let me take the picture, like make it make sense. But it worked out. I got what I wanted at a better location. It was simple. Hi, I'm here to buy the pop bucket. Like, what are we doing? Mm-mm. What are you looking into?
Me?
Yeah.
I was looking at the AMC thing, the Wednesday thing you just told me about.
I think about getting, well, if I find it during the live, I'll share it because I'm like, that's actually really good information to know. But I think my goal was to see like how everyone's concession stands are set up. What are the vegan options? This, that, and the third. Like I usually go where I go because it's convenient to like get home. But I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you should look at the other ones further downtown, the ones up in Harlem, the ones, there's move. I think the furthest I would go is Harlem. I wouldn't go like past that. But anything from 125th Street all the way down to like maybe the Chelsea area, see how they all are. So stay tuned. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, that you know what's crazy? One of my coworkers was learning Mandarin, and
Mhm.
you know, one of our coworkers is from China, and she used to help him learn, and they used to talk together at work. That's a flex. That's not the easiest thing to learn. So are we ready to get into the actual review?
We sure are.
All right. So since I'm definitely 100% a normie, and I would say Tori is a semi expert because she's seen all the movies. Plus Cobra Kai, I haven't I haven't done it yet. So, um, what were your thoughts about the movie? Who should go first, the normie or the semi expert?
Normie.
Okay, on a normie perspective, I really enjoyed the movie. Unfortunately, it did rehash. It's pretty much a remake of the remake of the other ones before 1984, 2010, and now this one. But it brings together 2010 and 1984. So you get a backstory to the Han household and you get a backstory of Miyake's household. And of course, they play homage to Miyake, which I appreciate greatly. You guys know I always talk about the people that I lost, whether it be our mentor Melanie Freeman or my mom. You honor people by remembering them and letting them know that you matter. So I love how Miyake out the gate is being recognized in that way. And I don't want to mess it up for those who I mean, we're going to have some spoilers. Spoiler alert, there will be spoilers. But I just love the intro. You know, can we share what happened or just let them see it on their own? The
I feel
very opening.
wait, maybe we could wait to the Venn diagram.
Okay. But I did like that. Um, like Tori noticed, in all the Karate Kids, all the main characters don't have a father figure. Um, they have to travel somewhere. Well, so in other words, it's something we've seen before. So I'm fine with that. Um, but I felt like it could have been a little bit more character development on the main character. The main character was amazing. Um, a young Jackie Chan type. I just felt like I kind of wish this is a major spoiler. I just kind of wish they. I don't know if I want to give away the end. I just wish it was different. I
Wait,
wish.
no, I thought we could get into all the
Okay,
details.
I kind of wish that he lost. I wish for once they would lose and set up an instant part two. Now, out of all the characters, it does make sense
Oh.
that he won because he was doing not karate. He was into martial arts out the gate,
Mhm.
and actually, he would be the most logical one to have won of the three Karate Kids.
Yeah.
Like I was like, and both the previous Karate Kids, I was low key annoyed that people who never studied martial arts were beating people that were very well trained in it. It just didn't make any freaking sense. But this one, I'll be honest, out of all the three, would have made sense to be a winner because he was practicing in the Han household out the gate, correct?
Mhm.
You know,
I feel like what they could have. Oh, I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you
but I
finish.
just felt like even if he is well versed in karate,
Mhm.
um, it would have been nice to see him lose because his opponent was a real badass, bro. Like he played dirty, like they all do. Like those are the similar beats. Tori is going to break that down a little bit better. But I like the movie. It is normie friendly, good casting. Um, but like remember like when the aunt was really really adamant to why she didn't want him to fight. I
That
wish
was
she.
his aunt.
I'm sorry, his mom. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was like, wait, wait, wait,
Wait,
wait.
I honestly wish she never caved. she had a valid reason for her son not wanting to fight, and she should have never caved into it ever.
Yeah, the cave in part, it just felt too easy. Like there's not enough fight from. I don't
I,
know.
as a mother, her motivation for not wanting her son to fight was so valid that I would have never caved ever.
Hmm.
It makes absolutely no sense that she caved in on that. So that was a missed opportunity. But again, I liked it, but I just wish things weren't so predictable. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I put in my notes one of the strongest aspect. I did like the balance of comedy and action.
Hmm.
I loved his nickname, Stuffed Crust, and then I love like how pizza was a prominent thing shown because for those who live in New York, we our pizza is amazing. Um, I was telling Tori, I wish I wasn't so sensitive to cheese because I really can't consume cheese without vomiting, but I love New York City pizza. Of course, there's vegan options, but to be honest, the non-vegan ones are better. So I'll never lie. I really like appreciate the effort of the two branch one tree thing and how you see it with the symbolizing of pretty much it's one tree but two branches. You know, one's the Miyake, one's the Han. So that was nice, a nice tie-in. Um, let me see. I did not like some of the transitions. They were really cheesy. It was giving me Karate Kid Part 3 in terms of
Wait, give an
some of the
example.
some of the transitions. Like remember like they would have let's say she's riding a bike and then you'll
Mhm.
see like literally in the same scene another perspective of it, or they'll have like weird transitions after that, and then it felt like more like for a TikTok video, not like a movie. And then sometimes even when they were fighting for the five boroughs, they had like 2 points. What? Like what? What? Where we
Oh,
go?
you want the special effect
Yeah,
thingy?
hell no. That part,
Oh,
and even some of the transitions were weird because
I
it was
see what
like
you
you
mean.
didn't need to speed up time. The movie was under 2 hours,
Right.
so like the little nitpicks.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
put it on the downside. I wasn't entirely sold on some of the transition. A few moments. Oh, I hate when I write notes like this. Um, but yeah, I wish the mother never caved. There's no logical reason why a mother is caving based on why she didn't want her son to fight. It was so logical, and it's one of those things I wish the parents would just put their foot down and stay there. Like my mom would have never caved on that. Like I don't know if we're going to tell people why she did. Is that a spoiler? Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were just gonna go all in.
All right, then so it's all spoilers. Yay. So basically, she didn't want her son to fight because she lost her other son through uh he was a winner and then he ended up getting killed.
Hmm.
Why would you cave on the other son fighting? No, your son shouldn't be fighting. Now, of course, he's gonna fight, but she should have never been like, yeah, I'm all in. No, I stand on it.
Yeah.
I also wish that he would get frozen with the flashbacks of his brother
Hmm.
dying. I kind of wish there was more development on that. If you
Yeah.
have a real phobia, and I have a few, you're not going to get over it easy. Like I love how when he froze when his girlfriend needed him and he just froze, that I need more moments to that. So if he ever becomes into fighting, show him overcoming his
Wait,
fear.
there was a point where he did that.
But it came too easy. You don't get over a phobia that
Oh,
quick. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
You just don't. You just
I
lost your
feel
brother.
like
You saw your brother die in front of you. Um, let me see what's Miyake said that someone is always better. Why? Take over because I'm really still blurry.
Miyagi said that someone is always better. Why not give us a protagonist who is shown up in a first movie and then earns his one rematch in a sequel.
That's what I would have preferred, just to break from what you've done before.
Yeah, but they would have had to make that loss something special because people are gonna be like, oh, why did they make him lose? They would have had to made it significant in a way. They would have had to go about it a certain way that was like, to have viewers be okay, like, okay, you win some, you lose some. You know, um, truthfully, I don't know. I'm gonna let you finish your thoughts.
No, but overall, I like the movie, but I just wish they would have shook it up a little bit different. Even
Hmm.
if you just got the mom to say, you know what, F it, I'm not caving on this.
Right.
You're my last son. I have the right to be worried. And as you can see in all the Karate Kids, all the but they also have in common their villains are ruthless. They are willing to hurt/kill.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that is a high stake. I could lose another son. So I'm not going to cave. So then maybe for a part two, if you had wrote this a little bit different, maybe for part two, she might cave in. But make us earn. What would make a mother say, you know what, I lost one son to this, but he's really good at it, he's passionate about it,
Mm-hmm.
in honor of my son, his brother, we move on, we still fight, we don't let people punk us around, you know what I'm saying? If you
Right.
couldn't get a part two, then that still could have been fleshed out for part one, because it was shorter than most movies. It's the shortest movie I've ever seen in the theater in my life. So I
Yeah.
was like, whoa,
I,
you guys had moments for more footage. I liked it, but I feel like as a normie who just saw Karate Kids 1 through 4 with you, to shake it up. Now, if you never had 1 through 4, then I love it. But even as it is, minus, well, honestly, I don't love the mom caving in, but everything else I like. And then of course the cheesy 2 points, 1 point, what? But we can get over these things if it's a story fleshed out a little bit better. But I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed the movie a lot. Like I said, it's my favorite 3 of the 5, but it could have easily took over number 1 or 2 if you switched it up a little bit. Because this guy is a great martial art. I love the angles when they did the final fight. So,
mm-hmm.
it was really cool. But I just felt like, tag, you could have took this to a new level for Karate Kid moving forward.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
talent rights, without giving spoilers. Hold on. Do I have my reading glasses with me? No. Without giving spoilers, there's so much potential in this movie where you could have expanded upon certain details and turned this into a separate franchise with many additions. I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I think, my opinion, they were leaning on the nostalgia of the Karate Kid legacy and not thinking about how could we take it to another level. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if you have a great actor who does martial arts, and like I said, I love the casting, I love how he formed his friends in this new country, just shake it up. Either the mom can't cave or he can't win, or both, you know? But I
Yeah.
love seeing Jackie Chan. I love seeing Ralph Macchio. I know some people complain that he wasn't in it long enough. Okay. Um, but I mean, I liked it. I really liked it. I wasn't coming, I brought the cop. I spent $64 in merch. I like the
Yeah.
merch. That means I really like it because I want to remember it. But you know, I mean, we'll talk about other people's feedback because it definitely wasn't kind at all. But yes, absolutely. So this would have been a great way to prepare us for starting to get ready to, pass the mantle to this new Karate Kid. It's not saying it can't happen, but the goal is make us want to have a part two. I don't know if they did that. So I don't know your thoughts because I know you're a lot more optimistic on this than I am. But
Yeah. Me personally, I love the franchise. I love it. I love everything about it. And I feel like, truthfully, I feel like the feedback I've been seeing online is a bit too harsh. It's like, come on, y'all, please. But I feel like that's how it is nowadays. I liked it. There's some things that I felt they could have went about differently. Like, I think because I was thinking in terms of the fact, okay, like he
I'll
lost his brother and what?
bring us aside or
Oh yeah,
not yet.
that's fine.
Oh,
You can pull it up. I could probably get into it that way.
okay.
But I would say this is one of the top movies in my book. I feel
Of the
uh,
three, of the five.
one of the I would say probably like in the top three, like you.
Okay.
Yeah, not number one, but it is in the top. But yeah,
But it should have been easily number one or two if you just change a couple of things, you know?
yeah, it could have dethroned probably the 2010 Karate Kid, but I don't think so because that one felt more full. It felt more complete to me, and I just think it could have been longer. But like, yeah, hold on. Actually, let me just
This
get
is,
into.
no, if you want, I can make it a full screen.
Mm,
Or
okay, we could do it that way. We do it that way. So, this is the Karate Kid universe. It's not the full Karate Kid universe, but this is the three movies that is all in connection with each other. And so the first one was the 1984 Karate Kid. You know, it's a bully teenager learns karate from a wise handyman to defend himself and gain confidence, culminating in a climactic tournament victory. And then the second one was the 2010 Karate Kid with Jaden Smith. A young boy moves to China and learns kung fu from a maintenance man to stand up to bullies, ultimately proving himself in a martial arts tournament. And then lastly, this one, Kung Fu prodigy Li Feng moves from Beijing to New York City, where he trains under Mr. Han and Daniel LaRusso to compete in a karate tournament and confront his past. So that's just an overview of those three. So I did a Venn diagram.
so well done. Y'all make sure you sub to Tori's channel. We got to get Tori in the geek space. This girl is real different.
So I did a triple Venn diagram of the similarities and differences between each one. So let's get started. So we got the original Karate Kid. All right. You have this kid, Daniel Russo. He moves from New Jersey to LA with his mom. Um, key technique. This is like all out of order. I should have put it in order, but I didn't. But you know, the key technique of the movie, which I noticed that there was a key technique that each of these movies that they had to kind of like master, and eventually in the end they did it. So you had the crane kick technique that he eventually did. It was like a last resort, a last ditch effort. And then the wax on, wax off, that's like the phrase of the
Mhm.
movie. And you know, that was part of how he learned his karate, which was like unpredictable at first. Like, okay, why this man got him doing chores and stuff? Come to find out, the techniques that he was doing was the karate moves. Um, and then the nickname Daniel-san is like kind of like a term of endearment when they add the san at the end.
Mhm.
I believe in like Japanese culture.
Mhm.
And to me, this first Karate Kid had a comedic tone. It was more goofy. It wasn't much of like a drama. You know, Daniel was cussing every 5 seconds, cussing out his mentor, whatever. He should have put him in check quickly. But the tournament was the All Valley tournament, and I put as many things that I could put, like, that was individual to each movie. So you had the All Valley tournament, and that year was 1984. The dojo that he was with was Miyagi Do Karate, and then the rival dojo was Cobra Kai. And then I put Mr. Miyagi here because that's what his teacher was called. He would call him Mr. Miyagi. And then I didn't have enough space, but I put Way of Life because he said, because Mr. Miyagi was teaching. That's why when oh goodness, in the comments you put the quote.
Oh, you want me to bring it
He
back up?
basically said, yeah, you can put it back up. He basically, Mr. Miyagi taught Daniel that karate is basically a way of life and everything, and then the balance thing. The key was balance. Spoiler alert, even in Cobra Kai, they weigh heavily on balance.
Okay.
The balance is like the thing for them in, karate, like the Miyagi Do karate. And then over here, we have the 2010 Karate Kid, and this one had Dre moving from Detroit to China. And he was learning kung fu, so he wasn't like necessarily learning karate. He was learning a different martial arts. And to me, I wanted to add this in. Trish definitely said this. His mother felt more present than Daniel's mom. And I know Daniel was like an older teenager, about to get out of high school, but like his mom was just like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah, stay with
Candyman
this
seems
changed
nice.
man. We won't even question it here.
Yeah,
What?
like you can live with him too, like over the summer. You can like go to a whole different country with him and everything."
Good luck. It's like, as long as you're not in my hair, peace out.
So with this one, chi was the technique that Dre had to like master, like learning how to like kind of get his opponent to kind of control his opponent, kind of with like an internal like energy or like force. And they really had to like find it within themselves and like get the strength, because with kung fu, that's how they get. And you see it in this new movie too, and I'm glad that they like expanded upon that topic. Like, even
Mhm.
though you might not seem strong, or you might not seem like you have room for like strength or a lot of force, there's a way you can make like have a lot of force or like pack a heavy hit. So that was the technique that he had to do. And then at the end, kind of like how Daniel, okay, like he got up on the crane and like nobody knew what was coming, and that was kind of like him and Mr. Miyagi saying, um, the thing with the snake that the lady was doing,
Oh yeah.
um, where she was like like having the snake follow her. That's what he started doing at the end, and so that's how he eventually won the fight and the tournament. Um, and then this phrase, the other one was wax on, wax off. This one's pick up the jacket. Pick up the jacket, hang up the jacket, take out the jacket, or however it goes. And then instead of like Dre Son, we're in China now, so it's Zhao Dre, and he said it means little Dre. So that's what that means. And then I put Mr. Han, which is kind of a similarity because it's like Mr. Miyagi, Mr. Han. It's not really like they're calling him like sensei or like what do they call him? Kung fu teachers call Shifu. So they don't say that in this one. Um, but I thought that was interesting. But this one felt like a more serious tone. The tournament was called the Open Kung Fu Tournament, and then the rival team was the Fighting Dragons. And then this one, this is the what do you say? This is the similarities that each of them had in common for these two movies. They both had a loss of the father prior to us seeing their story in the Karate Kid, and then they both were taught by a maintenance man in their apartment. They both had a rich love interest whose parents eventually was like, "Nah, you're not good enough for my daughter." So now, and they both ended up. Some happened where they didn't. Their love interest, they got, I don't know, they had a falling out or whatever, and they got back together. They came back together, and this is the thing that I saw was a difference, like that these two had in common that the other one didn't. Well, the other one kind of did, but not in the way that this one did. Where the teacher was telling him to break his leg, and one of the other people from the rival team would try and break the protagonist's leg or whatever. Then he comes back strong and it ends up winning the thing. That's what both of them had. And then I pinpointed the Cobra because Cobra Kai, like the snake, that was big symbolism in here. And then the symbolism in here when the lady was getting the snake to like follow her. They had the Cobra. And then they both were bullied by a group of people, like a group of like boys, like friends and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So then let's get down here. So this is Karate Kid Legends. I told you I did too much. So I
I
thought it
love
was
it though.
cool
I
that
love it. I love it.
we saw the development of Mr. Han, because in this movie he was like depressed, homebody. He wasn't super friendly at first, but like Drake kind of like won him over, and like he started teaching him, and like Drake was just goofy, and he still was just kind of like like that's kind of how his attitude was, and that stemmed from trauma. So he even had some loss that he had to get through, but I thought it was cool that over the years since then he had development and he created his own kung fu school, or like he was like a teacher at it.
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed happier, he seemed brighter, like goofier. Like this Mr. Han was like different from this Mr. Han. So,
Right.
like it was so different. And then this one, of course, he moved from China to New York City. The rival team was called Demolition Martial Art. It was like Demolition Martial Arts or something like that. But they learned karate there. Is karate. Um, and then Lee is skilled in karate and kung fu now, so he was learning both of them. Whereas these two were just learning one or the other. Um, and he had a martial arts background, which we had like talked about when Trish was going over her thoughts. And he already knew karate. I felt like they could have played on that a little more, because it's like, oh, we don't want it to be predictable. Let's switch it up. So maybe, like you said, have him lose. Or like I was thinking that, since he lost his brother, it would have been interesting to see him choose to sit that out. Like, oh no, I'm scared now. Like what I witnessed, like he's frozen, like he can't move. Or
Okay.
maybe he could kind of be like how Mr. Han was, just quiet, reserved, minded his own, just to himself, doesn't get out. And like his mom is like, okay, we're here now. Let's get you out. Like, he was still kind of outgoing, like, these two were. But it would have been cool to see him like more reserved to himself. And then what caused him to fight was that he was getting bullied, by Connor, the bully. And so it kind of like forced him to have to get up and like fight. Like, okay, I'm gonna have to fight now to defend myself. And that's what got him back into it. And then maybe he called on his uncle. That's another thing. I wasn't able to fit on here, but Mr. Han is his uncle. So it would have been cool if he called up on him, like, hey, I'm ready to get back in. Like it kind of circumstances forced him to get back into it. And
Mm-hmm.
then of course this thing was different. He was teaching his knowledge of fighting to someone else, and he taught it to, what's his name, Victor, who owned the pizza joint.
Oh yeah, yeah. How could I forget that? Yeah, yeah.
That was cool. I thought that was so cool, but I also felt like that was rushed too. It would have been cool to see them training together, like training side not side by side, but like at the same time. And then at the
Right. And
end,
maybe having different out, because remember
yeah.
he lost.
Yeah,
But
like
it, Like, I guess maybe they didn't want two losers in the same movie, but it was just like,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Anyway, it was two different outcomes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but it would have been cool to see it that way.
I would have
Um,
preferred the fighter to win, and the
hmm.
main character to have lost. Because
And
then
then
you would
those
have
are for the
because it'd have been
sequel.
like, yeah, he's absolutely going to win because he helped, the father win. And I was like, no, this one's going to lose, even though he did a sense of a good training too. It's just different outcome.
Yeah,
I don't know, because I was just like the similarities of, oh, there's a girl crush or a girlfriend, or here's a jealous ex. Now we got beef with the new guy. So that's all three movies. So that I'm saying, I wish it was just a little different, but I get it. I guess they were trying to do so. What they all three have in common too, you could tell they were trying to do a refresh, a rebirth
yeah,
of it. So I get it. We have similarities, but I would have loved to shake it up. I was like, there's no way. But and honestly, he
yeah.
would be logical to have won, so I'll receive that. But I felt like I would say at least with the mom, she's never caving in on this. Like show up to the tournament and slap him. I said, like you disgraced me. You could have died. Or someone can, what I'm saying?
Oh,
You
no,
know?
Lord, not because the tutor was already worried that she was the one who hit him in the eye. He said, "Did your mom do that?" That's the only time we all laughed collectively in that theater. That was the one time. But yeah, it would have been cool to see like what I was saying, like complete opposite with these two, Daniel and Dre. They were completely like just all gung ho about learning how to.
Hmm.
They wanted to learn karate, and they didn't really come from a background. They just kind of like watched it on TV or read it in a book a little bit, and they really just weren't super knowledgeable about it. But then you have this one who does come from martial arts, but he doesn't want to do it because he witnessed what his brother did or what happened to his brother. Which another thing, when his mom was saying, "Oh yeah, this is what made your brother, this is what made us lose your brother." She at first I was thinking like, oh god, oh okay, never mind. How should I phrase it? Because I don't want to. I was thinking like maybe the brother got in like a fight and then like he got kicked or like repeatedly hit on the part of his body and then like that's what happened and he died. I wasn't thinking like he homeboy got stabbed because they was mad that they lost,
Right.
like so in a way it was kind of like an indirect kung fu indirectly took his brother away from him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like a direct thing where they were in a fight and then his
Right.
opponent hit him too hard away and then like that's what happened. And I feel like that's the route they should have went. I don't know. That felt like
Yeah.
it.
Just to shake it up,
Yeah. And then I could. That's why I could really understand his mom. Like, you're not. Because you could get the way I don't want to say it because like I don't want them to flag it if I say something.
Oh, unalive?
You could get unalive the way he did any kind of if somebody could just walk up to you and do it.
Honestly,
It wasn't like he died like in a fight.
In Karate Kid 2010, those kids that were fighting Jackie Chan, I was like, why are y'all picking on someone that's super tiny? Like you could literally
Right.
kill him. Like
Right.
I was like, because I'm like, you're giving Jackie Chan a fight. That means you're overpowering a non-karate fighting kid. So I was
Mm-hmm.
just like, whoa. And I'm like, I don't know. I felt like 2010 had more of a balance of comedy, backstory, character development, cinematic shots,
Mm-hmm.
you name it. It was just so many things done better in 2010s. And you would think in 2025 that you could build on that. But then you kind of dumbed it down like in a TikTok kind of energy. And I'm like, okay. But 2 points, 1 point. I'm like, bro, you literally told us that 2 points is head, 1 point is whatever. Just we'll count the points in our head. or not?
Honestly, that didn't really bother me too much. I
But it dumbs
truthfully,
it
I
down though. It doesn't give it that same
yeah,
cinematic feel as 2010.
true. I feel like they were trying to reach the generation because like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this is what got me into the Karate Kid universe, and this is what came out when I was a kid growing
No,
up.
that's a
Then
great
you had
introduction. Like
then
great,
you
great
had like
2010.
you know my parents' generation and stuff. This is their Karate Kid. This is how they got
Mm-hmm.
into it. So they did it for what was the time, like the corny '80s theme, like you were saying and
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, I don't know, something about it. It was just like when I
Really
tell you
well
I walked
done.
out that movie theater, I was like, I'm a brand new person. I feel like the main character. And
I
then of course they had Justin Bieber in there, and he was such a big deal at the time to us when we were like in elementary school and stuff.
listen, he's still a big deal. I
Yeah,
love
no, he still is.
he
But
still
like
is. I love
we
his
were
Diva.
we were like, oh my god, like the little girl, like, oh my god, Justin Bieber. That's how we were. But and then this one, I guess they wanted to go like the visual routes, like the fun little font on the screen, even like the captions, like the English translation when they were speaking Mandarin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Even the captions were kind of a little different, like they were like that. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is different. So I feel like they were trying to reach the generation now. I really hope it works. I really hope they're able to captivate this new generation like they were able to captivate me with the
Yeah.
2010 remake.
Hopefully they'll get a part two or a spinoff or something from it. But it's those little things that, like some of the feedback with some of the TikTokers and YouTubers was they felt like it was rehashed or done already.
Mhm.
Um, Number one issue, and me and Tori did speak about this off camera, was they wanted more Cobra Kai ties. There was only technically one, correct?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get into that. Hold on, hold on.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I even took a picture of that. Do I have that? Okay, I got something in correlation with that. I gotta get that up. But yeah, what did I put? Okay, the ban from fighting by his mom. And then Stuffed Crust, like you pointed out, his
Yeah,
name is
it was
Stuffed
a very
Crust.
good name because it was the introduction to his girlfriend slash friend, and the father clowned him. He was like stuffed crust, like go to Jersey, and it was really so New York. New Yorkers can be really sarcastic and rude. That's just how we are. So it's just like he was just like, dude, I'm not from here. Like, help me out. And then his daughter said, I got this. Like, I'll help him. Like, I say stuffed crust is good, but New York City pizza is better. Just saying.
I have to try it. I don't really care for Stuffed Crust.
Uh,
So I probably fit right in with work, so I'm cool on that. But I thought it was funny that they carried that on out even through the tournament. This
yes.
so
They were
you had Zhao Dre, um, Danielson. Wait, he actually did. I'll show that up here. That's gonna be up here part. He actually did have another nickname, but they had the Five Boroughs tournament, which was very different. They was fighting all over New York City, and then they ended up on a roof for the last fight for the final one. My dad was like, when he saw that the height and like how they were just out in the open air, he's like,
who thought that was a good idea? Because it's not.
because that Connor boy was crazy. He probably would have threw him off the building. No,
Oh, that would have been a dark twist, but I'm so with it.
stop. No, you would have said his mama is a spiral.
Not the main character.
That would have been crazy.
I said, oh. And then for the sequel, they'll be like, he's never gonna fight again. He lost his brother. He killed his opponent. It would have been so dark.
God. Hold on. Mental no, mental no, mental no. You just made me think of something. Mental no. Okay. All right.
Even
Wait, two
even
mental
have the
notes.
dark twist of like he killed him. He kicked him off the road.
That's
What is
insane.
wrong with me?
Cause she gonna get your live flag.
It's not funny, but if you saw some of my favorite movies, you'd be like, it's not her fault. She does like dark stuff and find a weird humor. There's nothing humorous about it, but I don't know why I find it funny. Um, all right, so
So
what is your overall
I
thought?
still, uh, hold on. I'm sorry. I still have more. I
No,
don't,
go ahead. No, keep
and
cooking.
I'll give my
Let it
overall thought.
cook.
So, yeah, but I felt like it was very meaningful that he wasn't just fighting to like rid off a bully. You know, the other two, that's kind of how it was. He was fighting to, heal from that trauma from witnessing him losing his brother because he was there. So that helped him kind of like get through that and honor his brother in a way. Because I remember they pointed that out. So there's that honor thing of people that they looked up to that they lost, like Mr. Miyagi, that they made sure to bring back. And of course, he had two teachers, Daniel, Mr. Han. Thought that was really cool. And then they had the different end shot, and this because thanks to you put that clip in there where they were talking about or the fact, I think, where they were talking about they wanted to initially end Karate Kid 1, the very first one, with them holding Daniel up and cheering, but they decided on Mr. Miyagi looking at him and smiling. Well, this one, it wasn't necessarily the end, but the end shot of the tournament win, they actually went with that where they had him up high and they were lifting him. I was like, wait, that is so cool. Because that's what they wanted to do for the first one originally. So I had to make a note of that. And then where the first, the 2010 and 1984 one, they had the Cobra. They mentioned the tiger on this one. And he was saying that, I think Mr. Han has said that he described the bully as fighting like a tiger. Like he had tiger like moves and stuff. And I was like, that is a very accurate description. It wasn't like the snake type stuff that they have going on. And then up here, similarities between these two. I just kind of had to rush it because I was trying to think. This is kind of like not really related to the plot line, but I feel like these two had more of a memorable soundtrack than the 2010 one.
Mm.
It was like songs. I love the song. It was a variety of songs. It was like new songs from now, very catchy, like popular new songs from now. I love that they had the New York, throwback New York hip hop. Like I heard Eric B and Rakim. There was somebody else in there. I forgot who my dad. He kind of sound like Big L, but I don't know if it was Big L. I don't know. But he said it was
Yeah.
somebody else. And I thought that was cool. So they was like mixing in like the new with the old, and then they also made sure to pay homage to the setting, New York City. I thought it was cool. And then the film score. If you notice, certain times, like when they went to Mr. Miyagi's old house when he went to go find Daniel, they played some of the same music that was in the first one, like the strings, like the film
Mm.
score. It brought you back to this first one. I was like, yo, wait, that's the music they're playing in the first one. And then I put this one here because they both had Daniel in common because he was in both of these movies. Um, Mr. Mr. Miyagi connected both of these stories together. And then, of course, you had Johnny Lawrence. When Johnny came out of nowhere, I kid you not, I started crying. I said, I was like, I said,
I said the
Johnny.
minute Tori sees this, because that's where I was like, wait, Johnny's here?
I was like, oh my God, Johnny. And then he was just as goofy as he was in Cobra Kai. Like that glimpse of the way he was acting, being goofy and stuff, and Miyagi Do pizza parlor, whatever he was saying. That's how he acts in the show. You're gonna love him. He's hilarious, very unserious, but yeah. everybody loves Johnny Lawrence now. Like everybody cheers for him now. Whereas when he was a bully in number one,
You're like, boo.
ooh, now they cheer for him. So this one I put Han Shifu because that's what they called him. Instead of where like they had Sensei Miyagi, they have Han Shifu. But they only refer to him that they only referred him to him as that in this one, probably because he ended up just owning the fact that he was a kung fu teacher. So that's probably why they called him that here, but not in here. They have the China setting or the China connection, where he was moving to China, he was moving from China. And then the Zhao, so they have the Zhao Dre and then Zhao Li. That's what they called him, Little Lee. And then these two, they both had intense fights. These two kind of had like there was some parts where I'm like, okay, y'all doing too much. Why y'all jumping this kid? Like in 1984. But this one was like, okay, y'all need to go to prison. Y'all can, like Trish said, y'all could get somebody on out of here, out of the land of the living. Especially this little boy, Dre. He was tiny. The fights was crazy. And then this one, he chucked that boy. He chucked him in the tournament. I said, he kicked his spine. He should have been paralyzed. I don't think, I looked at my dad, I said, is he paralyzed? Like, he was just laying there. He wouldn't get up. And it looked like he wanted to get up, but he couldn't. And I'm like, he's paralyzed, y'all. He's done. He's paralyzed. But he got up. And then this one, I put focus because these two both had focus. Because I remember there was a part where Mr. Han was screaming, or Daniel was screaming balance, and that was like the key of, or like the foundation of karate, balance. And then this one was focus, where you have to hone in that energy to like get strength. So I was like, wow, that's cool. They have that focus. That's their thing. And then I put in everything because whereas Mr. Miyagi said it's kind of similar. He said karate is a way of life. Mr. Han taught him that kung fu is in everything. So that's why he was like, pick up the jacket. He was like, it's in everything we do. It's kind of the same thing pretty much. And then overall, what I put that they had in common was that the two branches, one tree, they're connected. Even though it's kung fu and karate, they both come from the same tree. So the same source essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then all three protagonists move from one location to another. They're both bullied, except this one he didn't get bullied. I feel like there wasn't as many fight scenes and bullying scenes as it was in the other two, if I'm being real. He kind of got it easy.
But remember, the other problem was the focus was the father. Remember, the father was dealing with the lone people, so that's why. Because remember, the father had his own story too, which was a difference. There were two targets.
That's why I think they kind of split it up, and that's why I was like, the break his leg thingy was kind of there, but it wasn't directed to Lee. It was directed to
the dad.
What is his name? Victor. It was directed towards him when he was in that boxing match. And if you notice, the guy who told him to do that is the teacher of the little villain Connor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing I forgot to mention. They were so like Cobra Kai is strike first, strike hard, no mercy, and then the Fighting Dragons is kind of similar. No pain, no something, no mercy. So it's kind of similar to Cobra Kai. This one, the teacher told him, he was like, our goal is to kill. That's what he told him. So it's no strike first, no strike hard. It's straight to the point. He said, your goal is to take your opponent out. I said, oh, this is criminal activity for real, for real. Why? I would have loved to see an ending sequence with the cops kind of come to find him and arrest him for something. That would have been dope. That would have been dope to see.
I was like, come on. Well, like you were saying in Cobra Kai, like there's just a lot of things people are willing to do in the world of karate, and we do kind of see it play out in the 5 movies now. Like, and you're going to win it all means possible. So I can't wait to see this flesh out in 6 seasons. Like, ooh.
Oh,
These
I
kids,
can't wait for you to
these
see
kids are
that.
ruthless.
They had the theme of loss. They all lost somebody. Daniel then lost. Well, Daniel and Lee lost two people apparently because I think his dad died too. I don't know. Is what I read online. I don't know where his dad was.
Okay, we just knew the dad wasn't theirs. Focusing more on the
Yeah.
brother.
So those two, there's two people that was out of their life, but
It would have
of
been
course,
nice to see like grief crippling the main character. Grief is very so especially if you lost your brother. I don't know. I just would love. I would have loved the twist. That would have been a flex. And then like maybe for part two, maybe go back home to his uncle Han, get through the mental blockage, then maybe send him back to Cali. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I felt like there was an opportunity to force us to have a part two.
yeah, it would be cool to see one of these, like how Daniel's all grown up now. Now he's teaching, but it'd be cool to see one of the other ones come back too and start teaching, or let that be the sequel of it. That would have been cool. Um, yeah, they win the tournament and then they all have this the skill to. Oh wait, I don't know what that thing was called, but there the spin kick that his brother taught him that he kept trying to master. That was his key thing. So you had the crane kick, chi, and then you had the spin kick thingy. But yes, that is all that. I'm gonna hush
This
now.
is so well done, girl. I feel I feel like this needs to be posted somewhere. Wow. This is awesome. I was like, what?
um, guess I made myself do homework that I did not have to do.
It looks great.
But
Though. I love how he even used the colors of each, like we know the green is from the new one. Like he used the colors of the characters. That's really freaking dope. Girl, like this is your gift. Like I feel like this needs to be online somewhere. I'm like, this is really cool.
we could post it. I don't know where I would post it though.
I know. I'm like, well, if anything, put your Invincible Jackson logo on it, and then I'll be like, created by Invincible Jacksons. Look at her breakdown, and I'll put it on my thing.
Okay.
Because I'm like, this is really like no. It could even be on Reddit. I was like, whoa, this is some love in here.
They would have been no, they would tear my stuff. I'm like, anyway, it's because nobody's ever please, but
But that's
honestly,
fine too. Just like I find that we like it a lot more than the people that I followed their reviews, and I'm like, whoa, like people were kind of harsh on this. But I think it's probably like the predictability was probably the biggest criticism. And I'm like, I kind of wish they shaked it up just a little bit.
honestly,
I still liked it. It was a good movie. It was enjoyable.
to me, it wasn't as predictable. Like I get people saying, like, oh, it feels like they rehashed the story, but yeah, there in a way there was some similarities, but I felt like it kind of was more different because like he started out with karate. I'm not karate. He started out knowing like kung fu, so he started out knowing how to some sort of fighting technique, whereas the other ones didn't. So it wasn't like because I was thinking like, okay, like how is this going to be kind of like that, like the other two in that way, but it wasn't. Um, and then also he's teaching someone else. He also has two teachers. He also, I didn't realize that he was going to be teaching someone else because I saw what's his name. I think the actor is Joshua Jackson, the guy who plays the pizza guy.
Mm.
I kept seeing him in there, but I'm like, what does he have to do with this? But then I think I saw that he did boxing, and so I'm like, is he going to be teaching him boxing too? So I was thinking he was going to be taught by three different people. I didn't know he was going to be teaching him, and that's where the other ones don't have it. So he is already teaching somebody. So it would have been cool to see that kind of like you said, a sequel, and that go on further. Um, I will say that this one for the build up, it was too fast. Like the ending was too fast. My dad started watching it when Daniel finally came, and then they had, like you said, the countdown of the days, and it was just speeding through that. And he came out from the
Yeah, I'm
bathroom.
like, you have time. Like you have minimum an extra 20, 30 minutes of movie time. You gotta stretch that out.
And that's what I was missing. Like they went, because I get it. It was like 10 days, and I feel like they were trying to depict that he only had 10 days to train. But like, I wish they could have went more in depth to it. More, I wish it was longer. Like, I like the way they did Dre's. I felt like that was like the perfect duration, and I feel like I feel like it should have just been more to the movie. Like someone said, it could have easily had 30 to 40 minutes on it.
You're right, because Karate Kid 2010 was 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm like, you guys had time. You could have added more. You
Yes.
delayed this movie for what? To make it the shortest Karate Kid of all the branches?
And it had like one of the best. Oh gosh, it could have been like Karate Kid 2010 felt, it had that fullness to it, that layerness, fullness. Like
Very
that was
full.
a well-rounded movie, and I thought that that's what we were gonna get with this.
I feel like Karate Kid 2010 by far is the fullest of the five. Very well
Yes,
rounded. Very like you could just tell this kid is pissed. His mother has him in this new environment. The bullies are probably the worst bullies ever.
we didn't get a crash out. Really, we didn't get a crash out from this one. You know how the other two was crashing. Oh, I hate it here. Why'd you make me move here? Because
I
they were mad. We didn't get that with him.
I don't think he had it as bad. He had a girl. He had a potential girlfriend. He
Hmm.
had he was making friends with his tutor. Like he found his footing, and that's the biggest difference of the three. He adapted to the environment much faster because he spoke well English, and out the gate he started forming his friendship with the father, the girl, the tutorer. So at least he felt more at home. The other two, especially Karate Kid too, those bullies were horrible. I was like, I wanted to be every kid's behind in the alley with Jackie Chan. I really did not like those kids. They were so mean, especially the main one. I was like, damn, you know you can kill him. What are you doing? Like, what is going on?
I felt. Oh wait, I did like how the ending was. Like it kind of looked like it was finna be like whatever happened to his brother was finna happen to him. When the guy came back, like after he won, and the guy came back and tried to,
Yes, you are right.
and then he was finna, he like got on him and was finna punch him, and then Mr. Han was like, Lee, like don't do it. And then next thing you know, we see him punch him, but you look and he only punched the ground next to him, like kind of like a threat, but like I showed you mercy. And the guy was like, he just cowered down, and I was just like, he cowered down just a little bit too easy. Like, how he get scared that quick? Like he really had all that. Mm. Even that fight didn't feel. That fight felt too quick. It was too quick. Like I'm so used to the break his leg. Oh, he's out for the count. But no, like I think whatever, I felt like that probably was when he kicked his spine and he was like laid out.
Mm. I wouldn't mind seeing that fighting scene again. That was like, ooh, yes.
It was great fighting. Honestly, the villain kind of reminds me of a mini Terry Silver. Like, um, he was like, I was like, this is a different breed. Like, this dude, he can fight. Like, that's crazy. But it had so much potential, like to be longer. But I do, like I said, I love it. I feel like I'm talking more about the bad than what the good was. I did love the backstory. I did love the fact that he went into this knowing karate. I'm not karate. I keep saying karate, kung fu. And I did love the fact that this movie brought kung fu and karate together, and then the new fans and the older fans could come together with this movie because you had Ralph Macchio. They brought him back. I love that. And then you had Mr. Miyagi. They brought that back. Like it connected the two.
Full circle, yeah.
Even like the fight scene, like the way I felt, like I was like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Like even though I kind of knew what was gonna happen, I still was like, how is this gonna go about? Like, is it gonna? And like my heart was beating as if I was there. So I did like that feeling. That was it's cool. I feel like that's probably how I felt when I saw the 2010 one.
I think that was a great introduction. That like your first one was 2010. It's it's
Mhm.
it's the strongest, well-rounded one. I still think 84 is really funny. Like it's just like,
Mhm.
bruh. It's a good funny too. It's like, yo, because this kid was so bratty and so angry. You felt that. And Ralph brought back my childhood. I was like, yeah. Like you felt how aggravated he was. I'm like, thanks, Ralph. That's what I felt like then. Like you felt it. And he stayed
Yeah.
that angry character for like the next two movies. I was with it all. So
Ugh, I hate this bike. Except number two, he was like number two. He had to be the most. I feel like the way he was in number two is kind of like a hint at how he is now. Like, you see how peaceful and tranquil he was in
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie. That's how he is now.
Which makes sense
That's
because it was more about Mr. Miyake for part two.
mm-hmm.
And Mr. Miyake was, dealing with his past, his rivals, his struggles, you know, him trying to do the right thing, but this guy's like, no, you're fighting. We're squaring this up. So I definitely will rewatch all four again.
Yes.
Um, and then of course Cobra Kai it, yay, in mid-July or sooner. We just gotta, because we do have other channels, and we gotta make sure we're not conflicting with those things. But I can't wait, can't wait.
You're gonna love it. If you think number, I'm telling you, the feeling that Cobra Kai gives you is gonna be like similar to the first Karate Kid. I feel like that goofiness about it. Like there's a drama aspect, but it's also goofy. It's a good balance. It's a what do they call it? A dramedy. It's a
Ah,
very good
which
balance.
is probably my favorite.
You're gonna love it. Um, I just. Oh wait. There was two things I kept it. I told myself to make a mental note of. Oh, okay. When you said, "Oh, he should have thrown him off the building," I
What is
thought like,
wrong with me, man?
what if oh my gosh, I can't remember. Wait. Okay, if I can remember, I will. But what if they made like a Karate Kid movie or some storyline where the main character is a bully, and somehow that would show character development because eventually, have to humble him or something like that, or her. I do like how diverse this is, how they have different like ethnicities and races like as the
Yeah,
kid. And then I also thought about what if there was a storyline where the protagonist, where there was no love interest, but the protagonist has a friend. Let's say the friend joins a karate dojo, and then they turn into like a bad, mean person, and the friend becomes a bully to the protagonist, and then they have to fight it out in the end. That would go crazy.
and that would be challenging because they have similar techniques because they trained together and now they became enemies.
Ooh.
It could definitely, it would have been nice with a twist, but I feel like it's probably like 20, it's like what 2010 was to like the original. It's the same thing. You could tell they were just trying to rebirth it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, For some reason, though, the fans were not impressed by that. So
I'm glad it wasn't exactly like those two at the top though. Like I'm glad they kind of made it to where it had its similarities, but it felt like a continuation of those.
yeah,
And it
what
feels like this story could go into building up something like some sort of spin-off or a sequel or something to go along another continuation of it.
but I was like, oh no, hopefully I could use. I was like, I really like this diagram. I said, I'm gonna have. You know how you have the green screen talk over? I'd be like, my partner, Tori from Invincible Jacksons, made this little breakdown. Get out. Very nice. I was
Oh
like,
man.
I remember when you was making it yesterday. I'm like, wow. And then I guess when you came from home from the theater, you were like, all right, I'll fill in the rest.
I was making it in the movie theater. Like this time where it went out. Oh wait, did I write that thing down? Hold on. There was something I wrote down in notes and I was like, wait, let me just download the Canva app and edit my
I
story.
done. Shout out
uh,
to Canva because that is the coolest thing. Get started on your computer, put it to your iPad, put it on your phone. It goes with you.
oh wait, no wait. I forgot the saying on this one. You know how they had wax on, wax off, pick up the jacket? This one was jacket on, jacket off. So it still kind of had that jacket theme, but it was like they shortened it. Jacket on, jacket
I'm sitting here dropping popcorn
off.
5 in the morning,
I'm
but
definitely gonna go back to see it. And I'm gonna take my niece and nephew.
oh, cool.
I can.
Did your dad like it?
He, I feel like he pretty much liked it, but he did say because when Daniel came to New York and they started training him, like from that point, my dad had to get up and go to the bathroom, and by the time he came back, homeboy was already fighting in the tournament, and he was like, "That fast? Like he already fighting?" I said, "Yeah." I did think it was cool that they showed the tournament mixed with the training sequences. And I did like how he made him train. I did like how he made him train in the subway. That kick that felt kind of like some Johnny Lawrence influence right there, because
But you
Johnny.
want to gag, so I'm glad you brought that up. I was like, I think this subway chart is fake. It does not look like the ones in New York. I was like, what?
It did look really nice, and I was like, "This
I
can't
was
be."
like, I don't think this is a real train. If it is, it didn't feel real. Something felt fake. I don't know what it was.
The
I was like,
fact that he they didn't get cussed out, probably or
it literally
pushed.
to me, it literally looked at that like literally. I was just like, did they build this? Is this like Karate Kid Part Two, where they built like Japan inside Hawaii? Because if I'm asking if you built it, that means you didn't build it right. I should not know. I should be questioning that. I wonder, was that a set or just an empty car you purchased? Wondering. I was like,
It would have been cool, like, cause I know in the movie, so Ralph is from New York, well, the state, at least, not like anyway. I think where's Long Island in relation to New York City?
we call it the invisible or non-existent borough, but yeah, it still counts.
Okay, okay,
They have
so
more
it's
of a New Jersey accent, to be honest. They talk different from us.
they, I could see it, they do. Um, so but in the movie or the Karate Kid universe, he's from New Jersey. So I wish they would. It kind of seemed like he felt unfamiliar to the East Coast, and it's like you was born and you grew up there.
No,
Why
it's
are you acting
different.
like you don't want to come back?
It's like a suburb-ish kind of area of New York. So it's like, yeah, you're a New Yorker, but it's different. Like city kids are so different from like suburb kids. So suburbs would be like Long Island, some parts of Queens.
Mm-hmm.
I know in the Bronx they have this place called Bronxville, Riverdale, uh I don't know if Co-op City would consider suburbs, but the point is, like, it depends what borough you're from. That will determine how you live or what's your association. I'm like, city kids, I ain't gonna lie, we got it tougher by a lot. You live in smaller units, no grass, you gotta share with a bunch of people. It's different, concrete gray, and it's like not a lot of greenery. I'm mixed. I live in a suburbish city environment. So it's like, I have some greenery around me, but not a lot. But thank God it's not as bad as like Midtown and stuff. Because the deeper you get in the city, the more buildings you see, and less like trees and stuff. Unless you live near Central Park, that's a whole different flex. But yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to see it. I was, but then I spent $64 in merch today, so I don't know if I have the budget to see it again. But I enjoyed it.
I'm definitely gonna see it.
And I wouldn't mind seeing it without having to take notes. Just
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to go back because I'm like, well, we've done our review. No more notes has to be taken. So I'm gonna just sit and like fully
enjoy. Yeah.
But yeah, no, like the New York thing. Like, okay, like Daniel's character's from New Jersey. Ooh, I have hiccups. Like, yeah, sorry. It kind of felt like when Mr. Han went to go get him in California, he's like, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. And it's like, you're from the East Coast. Not necessarily like he wasn't from NYC, but like you're from the East Coast. And to be honest, when I heard the storyline and like the setting of this movie, I thought Daniel was gonna be going back home to the East Coast, and then he would have to train somebody there. Like he would kind of be like Mr. Miyagi to someone. But it wasn't like that. That would have been cool if it was like that, kind of.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'll be tracking the movie and stuff. Like I said, I know for our theater, it definitely wasn't as full as I thought it was going to be. But I think that was because it wasn't enough connective tissue to Cobra Kai. Because, like I said, there's only really one connective thing. And I'm like, that's a bonus clip. So you're like, oh, I'm awkward. But I wish, though, that they had more of a Cobra Kai tie-in. You probably would have got people coming out with their outfits. Like, it could have been like a thing, like a Star Wars kind of thing. But it was a missed opportunity. Because I think if you are owning a franchise, think about how you could take it to the next level. Like their premiere was phenomenal. Their premiere in New York was phenomenal. It had all the kids in the karate outfits. I'm assuming those are really training little senseis, but or karate people. But it was just like we got the premiere right, but you still have to get the fans to come out to want to be those cosplayers and letting people know, hey, karate. Like I wore my headband to work the other day when I saw the movie. Not one person got it, but okay, fine, whatever. I still enjoy having that thing in, but I don't know. I was like, oh, what a missed opportunity, man. It could have been a bunch of people, Cobra Kai lovers, Karate Kid lovers, and just merging all the worlds together.
Right.
But
I thought it was going to be more like of exciting turnout, like because Cobra Kai really put this franchise back on the map. Like, not to say that people forgot about it, like they thought it sucked or whatever, but it just wasn't there until this show. The show brought it back. It brought it to new generations. Like I just saw like.
If I'm not mistaken, sorry, didn't cut you off. Didn't Cobra Kai season 6 end this year?
Yeah, it ended in February.
Should have been a way bigger tie-in. There should have been a way bigger turnout if the tie-in was there.
We're still trying to grieve the ending of Cobra Kai, and everybody's like, well, at least we got the movie coming up. But like, where y'all at?
But that goes back to the criticism. If they had a better tie-in, they even probably could have delayed the movie by another year to get the tie-in to be some kind of continuous connective tissue to Cobra Kai and your first four movies.
To me, this kind of felt. I think, like, we were talking earlier. I'm okay with the fact that it didn't necessarily have too much of the Cobra Kai tie-in, because now, like, going over this movie, it felt like this was the foundation of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Cobra Kai was the foundation of the Cobra Kai show. And then
Mm-hmm.
this was kind of like a supporting thing to this movie. But it was like the kung fu thing was the main thing.
Yeah.
I and now if they were trying to make it seem like they were both really coming together, like, I mean, they were coming together, I wish they would have did it in a way like it was a lot of goofiness, like,
Exactly.
oh, no, my style, I taught him that.
Right. I
No,
feel
no, I
like
taught him that.
because right now, because I don't know what Cobra Kai really is yet.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the movie? Oh, it's right behind me. The poster. My thing is, how do you take this awesome start to the next level?
You
You didn't
can't.
give him an opportunity to have that. You just banked on the nostalgia and the success of the other movies instead of saying nobody knows who. Well, I'm not saying nobody knows who he is. He's going to be in Hunger Games and stuff, but most normies don't know who this guy is. Let's make sure we set him up for a sequel. Let's make sure that if there's some kind of spin-off opportunity for Cobra Kai or something else, it's there. Of course, you
Mhm.
could make it happen regardless. For crying out loud, you have Cobra Kai at a Karate Kid. Now I'm like, I never saw that coming. I was like, what? But here we
Yeah.
are. Anything's possible. But again, because the franchise is so successful, how do you keep that success going? How do you keep people excited about the? And like, we were noticing about like with the whole thing with Minecraft and even the Revenge of the Sith. If you get your loyal supporters on board to your everything, people will show out. People will have those, like how you had the T-shirt, the headband. It becomes more of a movement, and it makes the movie theater experience more magical. Like I know for me, I love magical movie moments. They're rare, but when they happen, they're awesome. Like they're
Only had
so awesome.
one, and I thought I was gonna get another one with this one. This one, like,
Check.
I'm
My
so mad.
theater, it was so there was so many seats available, and I'm just like, oh, you guys clearly dropped the ball somewhere. I personally would delay the movie another year to have a better tie into Cobra Kai. Because that's your cash cow is Cobra Kai.
Maybe there needs
Not
to
the
be
Karate Kid, Cobra Kai.
maybe there needs to be a movie that can be from Cobra Kai, because, like, this movie was done. It was done before Cobra Kai was even finished.
Mm.
So they would have had a halt on writing the movie, starting filming, everything. They would have had to wait and then start the writing if they wanted to tie in Cobra Kai. That's why I was like, I feel like they were trying to go off of this this one.
Yeah. Which is
And
a phenomenal blueprint. It's 2010 is a phenomenal blueprint.
mm-hmm.
So I was like, wait, what just happened?
I do wish that it was like, I wish he would have been like, okay, so kung fu, like you have the force within you, but you need to learn balance, the balance aspect, and like really kind of like get him into the calm setting, teach him balance. The crane kick, that would have been cool. Seeing that come back. What is it? Kata? The drum, like the whole lore, like that would have been cool. Cause like he knows the kung fu lore. It would have been cool to see him teach Daniel teach the karate like lore, like the history and everything to him, and that way it kind of would have been a way to like teach the new people or the younger people coming into this who have never had any exposure, kind of give them a way to see the background of it, because this really is a movie for people who have seen the whole franchise pretty much. There's because there's things you wouldn't know, like wax on wax off. If you hadn't seen the first one, like what's that? Or you need to know balance. Well, we know that because Mr. Miyagi like really reiterated that, and he was really into that in Cobra Kai. So that's how we knew that. But other people be like, "What do you mean by that?" I'm gonna stop talking because I don't know where these hiccups are coming from.
Well, it's funny. I looked in the office and I realized like the sun's coming up.
I hear birds chirping
I
outside.
was like, well, at least we saw it. We got through this series and we'll be back in July. Any closing thoughts? Or anything else you wanted to tell, just in case you had some more stuff?
Let me see. Do I have any? Oh yeah, wait. One more thing. This is the Johnny thing. I was like, right after that scene ended, I saw his name on there and I was like, I have to get this. So I got that, and then I got the other names. We have Ralph Macchio's Daniel LaRusso, Jackie Chan, Ben Wang. So I had to. It's a sucky picture, but I got it. And then also, we were on the topic of pizza. I don't know if you peeped it in the beginning, because I remember seeing this ad pop up on Facebook about some sort of deal with the movie. And when he was getting out the taxi when they first like got to New York, this logo or this advertisement for Marco's Pizza was on there. So they must have some sort of deal with them, and you can use the code Legends to get a $9.99 large pepperoni pizza.
I wonder if it tastes like a New York pizza.
Probably not, because we have Marco's here.
That's cool.
In the middle of nowhere, so probably not.
Well, you never know. Maybe that's why they had the partnership, is saying, hey, if you like New York style pizza, then eat Marco's. I don't know if that's the truth, but it looks like our pizza. I don't know if it is, but
it could be then.
And unfortunately, I won't be able to taste it. So I'm like, there's that. Cheese is not good with my stomach, but that's cool. That's actually a good find. That's actually a fun find. That's cool.
That's pretty much I have.
Well, thank y'all for those who came 3:30 in the morning. Now, which is almost 6 in the morning for me now. It's almost 5:30, but I'm gonna clean out my eye and go back to bed. I'm sure Tori wants to go to bed, but thank y'all. Hopefully I'll do another live tonight for Rogue One. That's pending, but I'm gonna try to do it anyway. So I was like, I don't know, but go back to NOB Star Wars for the rest of June, and Cobra Kai in July. So yeah, it kind of rhymes. So Tori will be back. You did an amazing job as always. This is
Thank you for feeding into my Karate Kid universe love, because no one else will.
Listen, I told you I'm stuck in New York. Might as well have fun. Watch TV, enjoy my city, until I figure out how to be less broke. So this is a good distraction. So guys, see you soon. Thanks again for coming. Thumbs up the video, sub to Tori, sub to this channel, and we will hopefully see you later on tonight. Well, not Tori, me, later on tonight.
Thanks for having me on, and thanks for doing this series.
Anytime. Bye.
Bye. Oh,